Hello, this is Sheever and I'm standing in the Shanghai Indoor Arena. I'm here for GosuGamers and of course we're here to see the Dota 2 Asia Championships. This is where it's all gonna go down. 12 teams remain of the 16 participating in the group stages and they will fight each other in a double elimination bracket starting on Thursday, the 5th of February. Before we are gonna see any of that though, we would like to take the chance to introduce you to the teams that are still left in the competition. The only team that has gone undefeated through the group stages is Team Secret. They are 15-0 and with their new squad seem to be unstoppable. Zai and Ortizi have fit seamlessly into the new lineup and have been on fire. But not only they have played world class, also for example Kuroki, who has played carry for the last 6 months, has shown that he has not forgotten how to play Rubik in style. With 15-0 in the group stages, it is Team Secret that makes it on to the winners bracket, who will be seeing facing IG in their first match of the tournament. Invictus Gaming are the sleeping giants of Chinese Dota. With their unquestionable pedigree, they have been able to surprise at many tournaments. Even though they are rocked by rumored transfers, including the imminent removal of Chisbuk after the tournament, the team still managed to make it to the winners bracket. While their performance has not been that impressive, they are still fronted by their mid player, Ferrari 430, who has been able to pull them out of many pinches in the past. In a best of 3 scenario, it will undoubtedly come down to Luo's draft to pull them through. The first challenge of IG will be Team Secret, who will be their first opponent in the winners bracket. Hellraisers have brought some CIS flair to this event with their aggressive style and approach. Ready for minute 1, the team has thrown themselves at their enemies, mostly with success. Attempts to deviate from their play style have not been really successful, which is why Hellraisers stay true to their style. Sometimes lacking some discipline, it is up to Hellraisers to find the perfect balance between bloodlust and patience, as their enemies will be ready for their aggression. Ending in the top 8, the team will be moving on to the upper bracket, where they will face Vici Gaming in their first match of the playoffs. Vici Gaming has tried experimenting with new ideas and drafts, but in the end they went back to their old style of play in order to secure wins. Will Vici Gaming try to throw their enemies off guards by going for another mid-dazzle, or will they continue playing with their old style? We'll find out, as they will be going up against Hellraisers in the winners bracket in their first match of the playoffs. Evil Geniuses came into this tournament with a reformed roster. Following poor performance at D12, the team has undergone intense practice and it has paid off. The North American powerhouse was able to dominate many of their opponents. But most importantly, they have been able to implement their 2 new additions perfectly into their lineup. Despite a few hiccups here and there, the team looks solid going into the main event, as they have proven in the past to be very hard to take down in best of 3s. Ending in the top 8 of the group, the team will be moving on to the upper brackets, where they will face up against Na'Vi in their first match. Na'Vi started off with a horrible 0-3 record, but were able to fight their way back to the top. Despite seemingly being figured out on day 1, the Ukrainians stayed true to their ways, even if it meant picking the same heroes. The most important pillar of success, however, has been Avos. Even in his team's weakest moments, Havos has been the carry they needed to secure victory after victory. Heading into the playoffs, however, will Na'Vi be ready for a strategy where none of their heroes are available? The squad has not displayed the most flexible performance thus far, a weakness that their enemies will look to exploit. Ending in the top 8, Na'Vi will be facing Evil Geniuses in the first match of the playoffs. Much like Team Secret and EG, Cloud9 comes to Shanghai with a new roster. But unlike the other 2 teams, Cloud9 is not able to continue its strong performances of 2014. The shakes aren't always on point, and in some cases even rather predictable. As Misery pointed out, the team is not always on the same page, especially when it comes to mid-game decisions. And even in their wins, Cloud9 does not look as strong as they did before. The playoffs will be a true test for their new roster. Still ending in the top 8, Cloud9 will move on to the upper bracket where they will face Big God in their first match of the playoffs. Legends never die, and Big God has shown that you cannot forget how to play Dota overnight. The team of Chinese retirees have had a dominating performance in the group stage, ending second despite not being a serious team. Rounding out the lineup of legends is pub player Ice Ice, who was discovered by Zow8 and has been displaying top-tier performance. This team may not be here to stay, but that might just be for the best for the other teams, because one can only imagine the power this team would have if they continue to play together. The recently revived brand of eHome has a lot of expectations placed upon them. Expectations that they weren't able to live up to in the group stage. With the name of the world-dominating team of 2010 to 2011, there is a lot of extra weight on the team. With their youth, experience, and Gil from Coach 71, they definitely look more threatening in a best-of-3 scenario. However, their performance does only warrant them a place in a lower bracket, which starts with a best-of-1. Hyperglory team are easily the underdogs of Chinese Dota coming into the lower bracket. Led by legendary players at SMJ, the team has had a constant presence in the Chinese Dota scene as a tier 2 team. They're able to take games off the best, but they were never consistent enough to take a tournament. While they did well enough to end in the top 12, it will come down to legendary player ZSMJ to find his carrying skills to pull HGT into the later stages of the tournament. Rave is the last team to make it to the lower bracket after beating 2 rounds of tiebreakers. With their fight and rotation-heavy playstyle, they're thrilling to watch, but are susceptible to throwing while they're ahead. As the last fully Southeast Asian team left, they carry the hopes and dreams of Korea and the Philippines, and it is up to them to keep those dreams alive. LGD is definitely underperforming at this tournament. With one of the best-looking rosters after the post-TF4 shuffle, their failure to achieve honors in multiple tournaments is weighing on their shoulders. LGD will have this tournament to prove that they are still a quality team. In particular, Faith needs to step it up and show that he is once again the best drafter in China. Now you've seen all 12 teams competing in the Dota 2 Asia Championships. I hope you're ready for 5 days of action and thrilling Dota. Stay tuned to GosuGamers for more content.